Stranger Things Season 4 feels like it'll never be released. Luckily, as of September 2020, there's one silver lining. It was recently reported that production was restarting. With this in mind, many fans are revisiting their favorite episodes. In that spirit, here's a breakdown of 10 Easter egg references you missed in Stranger Things.
Just a reminder about our new giveaway. We're giving away the new iPad Pro or the new iMac Pro. The choice is yours. All you have to do is watch the full video, leave a like, comment the keyword hidden in the video, and make sure you're subscribed. It's that simple.
Number 10. E.T.
I'll be right here.
Any fan of Stranger Things is probably also a fan of 80s pop culture. Some of the 80s references are pretty surface level, while others are definitely deep cuts. That being said, this list wouldn't be complete without mentioning E.T. The 80s Steven Spielberg film sparked the imaginations of millions of children across the United States. Now, Stranger Things in and of itself is sort of similar to the E.T. plot. Both are about children hiding a lovable alien in their home. In the case of Stranger Things, that alien happens to be the character, Eleven. At one point, E.T. puts on a blonde wig and dress to act as a disguise. They just happen to do the exact same thing with Eleven. E.T. may have loved bite-sized Reese's Pieces, while Eleven was into Eggo waffles. Both of these characters have a financially struggling single mother. Not only that, both E.T. and Eleven discover the wonders of television. Of course, you also have to remember the famous E.T. bicycle scene. As Elliot and his gang outride the police, you see a similar scenario in Stranger Things. Number 9. Nightmare on Elm Street.
What do you think I did? I didn't do anything!
The evil Freddy Krueger proved to audiences that you're not safe, even in your dreams. There are a number of famous scenes from this first film from the 80s. In one such scene, Freddy appears above the main character's bed, but from within the wall. The wall stretched like elastic as he reached out to grab her. In Stranger Things, the exact same thing happens, sending the mom screaming and running out of the house. Nancy and Johnson in Stranger Things happen to torch the creature coming after them. This same thing happened in Nightmare on Elm Street when that Nancy made a trap to set Freddy Krueger ablaze. Did you think it was a coincidence that both of these characters' names are Nancy? Number 8. Carrie. Some of the greatest modern horror stories come from the famous scribe Stephen King. His ability to scare on page has translated well onto screen. In the mid-70s, his hit novel Carrie would become a horror film classic. That being said, it's no surprise that the Duffer Brothers decided to tap that film for a number of Stranger Things Easter eggs. The original story follows Carrie, the weird kid at school. She also possesses incredible telekinetic powers. Without giving away any spoilers, things aren't exactly easy for a teenage girl, and things don't go the way they should. Of course, the Eleven character of Stranger Things also has the exact same powers as Carrie. She's used her abilities to save the boys a number of times. Both Carrie and Eleven appear sweet and soft-spoken. That is, until they become provoked. Then they quickly become unrecognizably powerful. One of the scariest Carrie moments comes at the very end when her arm pops out of her grave. A similar thing happens with Nancy when she bursts from the upside-down place. Number 7. Altered States.
If you love me, Eddie, you're fired!
In an effort to save Barb and Will at the end of Stranger Things Season 1, the boys build a sensory deprivation chamber to focus Eleven's powers. This reference is definitely more subtle, but is clearly pointing to the famous 80s film Altered States. In the film, the character uses a sensory deprivation chamber to tap into untouched parts of his mind. Similarly, Eleven is using the chamber to try and focus so she can explore the upside-down place and save their friends. Number 6. The Goonies.
They've stumbled onto a legend, but they're not alone.
The famous 80s film represents a childhood dream come true. A gang of kids strike out on an adventure and ultimately get in over their heads. Sound familiar? Well, the source is the Goonies. Many have come after, but Stranger Things is most similar and often draws on the Goonies as a source of inspiration. Even Dustin's character is similar to the pudgy and lovable Chunk. One scene in particular is when Dustin finds some chocolate pudding and stocks up. Of course, he's so excited he starts yelling to the other characters. In the Goonies, Chunk finds his own stash of ice cream and calls out to his friends. There are some differences, of course. In the Goonies, the kids strike out after discovering a map. Meanwhile, in Stranger Things, they're trying to find their lost friend. Number 5. Alien. Another famed 80s sci-fi hit is the film Alien. This movie is referenced throughout pop culture, and the same couldn't be more true than in Stranger Things. One of the reasons why Alien became such a hit was because the alien designs captured people's imaginations. No one had ever seen such detailed or elaborate alien props and costumes before. The pods they discover and the aliens using humans as incubators is just one example. Those examples are strikingly similar to some of the things seen in the Upside Down place. The slimy and webbed portal to the Upside Down place itself is very similar to the gross insect-like messes left behind by the creature in Alien. In fact, they're almost replicas of the facehugger pods we see in the original hit film. When they find Will, they even pull out a creature that looks almost exactly like the facehugger in the movie. Number 4. Firestarter.
Please don't make me do anything.
It's inevitable that a Stephen King classic would show up twice on this list. The film Firestarter was based off his novel of the same name. In the film, Drew Barrymore's young character has a very similar upbringing as Eleven in Stranger Things. In fact, they'd probably make great friends with everything they have in common. In Firestarter, the little girl Charlie has the ability to set things on fire when prompted. Of course, this little pyromaniac may look sweet and lovable, but she's prone to destroying absolutely anything in her path. Both Eleven and Charlie face experiments by scientists that go way too far. Because of this, they both end up destroying the labs and lashing out. In one scene in particular, Eleven tries to reach out to Will through a radio, but she ends up causing the machinery to burst into flames. Number 3. Close Encounters and Poltergeist. We had to double up on this one because of the number of similarities. In the hit supernatural film Poltergeist, no one believes the little girl is communicating with the dead through lights. Similarly, Winona Ryder's character in Stranger Things happens to notice Will's calls for help through her home's flickering lamps. Of course, even when she comes up with the brilliant idea of using Christmas lights strung into letters, everyone assumes she's completely lost it. Eventually, Hopper and some others finally believe her. In Close Encounters of the Third Kind, the aliens also happen to use lights as communication. The scientists use lights to try and speak with the aliens. Of course, this all happens after an obsessed father in the film has an encounter with the terrestrial beings, and no one believes him. The last similarity is how the mom in Stranger Things communicates with her son through the wall. The same is true of Poltergeist when it seems the little girl is trapped inside the walls of the house and they're trying to speak with her. Number 2. X-Men. The kids of Stranger Things used to have a lot less concerns on their mind. Of course, after their best friend is missing and they meet the alien Eleven, everything goes upside down. Pun intended. While comic books are wildly popular today with the massive Marvel film franchise, in the 80s, most kids were devouring the paperback versions. There are, of course, a number of comic book references in Stranger Things. Amongst those is about the comic series X-Men. In one of the coolest Easter eggs of the show, Dustin and Will reference an X-Men storyline. As the boys are racing back on their bikes, they bet that whoever wins gets to pick a comic from the other friend's collection. Dustin ends up winning and asks for X-Men issue 134. This comic, though, has a very similar storyline to Eleven's arrival in the show. The comic is about Dark Phoenix, a character with psychic powers far beyond her control. Number 1. Twin Peaks. Stranger Things had us on a wild roller coaster through season 1. No one was sure Will would be okay. That being said, by the end he did turn up just fine. Of course, we thought he was okay. It's revealed when Will goes to the bathroom that things aren't what they used to be. In fact, the young boy barfs up a slug in the sink. That's the nasty part, but not necessarily the creepy part. Will looks up at himself in the mirror and the entire room turns into the upside-down place. Will calmly goes back to join his family at the dinner table. While he seems fine, things are clearly going very wrong. This scene is eerily similar to a moment in the cult classic TV series Twin Peaks. At the end of the series, Agent Cooper smashes his head into the bathroom mirror and has a very similar moment as Will in Stranger Things. Both Agent Cooper and Will were unable to truly escape their journey. That's all for now, but if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Let us know of any other Easter eggs you found in the show. This has been 10 Easter eggs and references you missed in Stranger Things.
Just a reminder about our new giveaway. We're giving away the new iPad Pro or the new iMac Pro. The choice is yours. All you have to do is watch the full video, leave a like, comment the keyword hidden in the video, and make sure you're subscribed. It's that simple.